Welcome to the Connors Corner segment of Ask the Lawyer. Right now with me is Burt Ward, co-star of the TV series Batman. How you doing today, sir?
Fine, citizen.
So I just found out you're having a new film release soon.
Warner Brothers, has made a major feature film animated with my voice as Robin, Adam West's voice as Batman, and this new movie is called Batman versus Two-Face. And Two-Face's voice is being portrayed by none other than William Shatner. So here you have the two most iconic TV shows in history, Batman and Star Trek, where the actors are working together.
Okay, well, that sounds like a can't miss. We got to see that one. Going back to the TV show, some of the younger listeners may not know, you played Robin.
Of course, yes. Well, it's still on, runs every day of the week, all throughout the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and I understand over 100 countries.
Okay, now it was a different type of TV series.
Yes, family entertainment.
Now, one of the things I always liked about the show, or even sometimes now when we see the reruns, the great villains, guest villains that you had, like Burgess Meredith, Vincent Price, Frank Gorshin, Julie Newmar. I don't even think we could name them all.
Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero, yeah. What was it like working with all those great actors?
I was like a kid in a candy store. I mean, these are people that I had watched when I was a kid growing up in movies and on television. People like Vincent Price, who played Egghead. And I remember when he first came on the set, I had seen movies when I was a child. It scared me. So for a moment when I first met him, I was a little intimidated, but he turned out to be a really nice man.
One time, which I just found preparing for this interview, George Sanders was once a villain?
Yes, he played Mr. Freeze, also played by Otto Preminger.
George Sanders, there's a guy who won the Academy Award.
Exactly. Oh, we had some great actors and actresses on Batman. Fantastic actors. And there were so many actors that wanted to be on our show that what we end up doing is having to create that walking up the wall where they knock on the window, you know what I mean? And we open up they open up the window and there is like Sammy Davis Jr., Dick Clark, Lurch, Colonel Klink, Betty White, Don Ho, just so many great actors and actresses, and that's the only way they could get so many on our show.
What was your favorite episode? What episode do you remember the best?
Let me tell you, there was 120 of them. There wasn't any one favorite, but I always took the position that if I survived an episode without having to go to a hospital and with an emergency, second-degree burn, broken arm or leg, or 2x4 hitting me in the head, I was always the best ones where I didn't end up being hurt.
Now, did you do your own stunts?
I didn't want to, but unfortunately I had to in most cases because my stuntman didn't look like me. And, I said to them, why did you hire somebody that doesn't look like me as I was being headed off to the hospital? You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that, like in the first episode, there were 4 days in a row, not in a row, but for the first 6 days, I went to the emergency hospital, second-degree burns. I had a 2x4 land on my nose, broke my nose. This was a dangerous show. Now, the studio was very smart. They took out a $3 million life insurance policy on me. And I'll be honest with you, by the time the series name came to an end, I thought they were trying to collect on that policy.
How did you get the part in the first place?
Well, there was 1,100 young actors that came out for the role of Robin. And when they selected me, the executive producer, William Dozier, came to me and said, would you like to know why we selected you to play this part? And I said, sure. He said, because in our minds, forgetting television, if there really was a Robin, for real, he said, we think that you, Burt Ward, would be it. So we don't want you to, quote, act. We want you to just be yourself and be enthusiastic. And that's what I did for 120 episodes.
It's got to be hard to keep your enthusiasm up for that many episodes.
Well, not really. I really had a lot of fun doing it. I guess the only thing for me was a problem was, the danger of doing it. And then secondly, that costume, which I'll tell you was a monster to wear. Now,
did Adam West have to go through that, the same kind of stunts and danger?
Oh, no. He had a stuntman that because he wore that cowl that could pass for him every time. So, he'd be off there having coffee with my stuntman while I was on the way to the emergency hospital.
Did you ever kid him about that?
Oh, well, yeah, but it wasn't too much of a joke, you know what I mean? It was such a dangerous show. It I think they have in today's world more, protections for the actors than they had then.
Once the show's finished, what did you end up doing?
Well, I've made personal appearances for ever since then. I go out every single week and sign autographs. I've also done 40 movies for television. These are smaller, feature films, kind of stuff. And I've had fun doing that. Now I've also done Batman movies, Batman specials, and I have this brand new movie from Warner Brothers just coming out tomorrow. So I've been extremely active, and then I'm very involved, as you know, with charity.
Yeah, now what kind of work are you involved with? You're involved with the animal charities, dog charities, to be specific?
Yeah, my wife and I operate for the last 23 years the largest giant breed dog rescue in the world called Gentle Giants. And we rescue giant breed dogs, meaning Great Danes, St. Bernards, things like, big dogs, who traditionally have the shortest lifespan. And we've rescued 15,500 dogs in 23 years, every one of which would have been put to death if we hadn't been there to save them. So in the course of caring for these dogs, because they traditionally live short lives, when we would lose one, my wife and I would literally sob. We were so upset by it, and we vowed that somehow, if we could, we'd find a way to help them live longer. And what we've done through the years is develop a feeding and care program combined with a dog food that is different than every other dog food in the world. It's called Gentle Giants, and we now have dogs living as long as 27 healthy, active years. We take no money from this, so there's no profit participation. There's no, on our part, it is solely to help animals live longer. And what I'm very excited about is at the end of this month, we're going to be in 700 stores in the New England area. We're going to be in Stop and Shops. We're going to be in giant grocery stores, and we're already in Big Y. And so we're thrilled about that. And then come February, Walmart is taking us national in all of their Walmart supercenters.
So in February, you're going to be, let's say, most of our listeners right now are in the New York metropolitan area. So in February, they'll be able to get your product. And what's the name of it again?
It's called Gentle Giants, and it's a dog food that retails for half the price of what you would pay in a pet store for a dog food. And our motto is half the price and twice the life. So people who would like to have their dogs live up to 27 years like ours are living, this is going to be ideal. And in fact, just to give you an idea, our dogs are so healthy that the only time we take them to a veterinarian is every 3 years for a $10 rabies update. So customers your listeners in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the whole East Coast will now be able to get our food, all natural, the best, all USA made. But the key thing is their dogs can live up to 27 years.
Now, why is that? Why is your dog food so much better than the other brands?
Because it is completely different. It was designed for longevity. It was not designed to be profitable. And we take nothing from it. There's so many things I could give you. For example, I'll give you an example, fat content. If I don't know if you have a dog, but if you have a dog, go home and look in the back of the bag of your dog food. By federal law, next to the ingredients is a chart called guaranteed analysis. Okay, the first item is protein, the second is crude fat. You're going to find that the crude fat of the food in your dog food is 12 to 22% crude fat. Okay, so ours is only 9% because that other was injected into the food because it makes dogs hungrier to make you buy more dog food. Well, fat content has all kinds of toxins in it, not poisons, but toxins, which cause people to have their dogs itch and scratch. And I'm sure you've heard in the last 4 or 5 years people talking about my dog's allergic to this, and they think it might be a chicken or grain, and in reality it's the fat content they're allergic to. And then because dogs don't like the smell of fat, they love the smell of meat, dog food manufacturers then spray the outside of their dog food, with another kind of animal fat to get dogs to eat it. So you wouldn't take bacon grease and pour it down your garbage disposal because you know it would ruin it. So why would anybody feed a dog a food that every single kibble is encapsulated in grease? The difference is ours is no added fat to make them hungrier and no grease on the outside to cover up the fat on the inside. And our dogs are now living up to 27 years. And people that use our food, people ask me all the time, well, my dog is like 11 years old and, he's already slowed down. He's having trouble getting up. Will this help my dog? And I said, it'll do wonders. The older the dog, the more dramatic the difference, because our dog food is totally dry, not greasy. And when it goes in your dog's intestines, it absorbs the grease that has accumulated through the years of eating the dog foods that have fat on the inside and on the outside. And when your dog goes to the bathroom, it removes the fat and it cleanses the intestines. And that's allowed the nutrients to flow through the body much more rapidly and bring about healing and bring about new cells, which give the dog longevity.
How do your dogs react to the food? Do they like it?
They about take my hand off getting to it. Okay, and they love it. They love it because it's everything they want without any grease or fat. I mean, it is really designed for what they want, and they love the smell of meat, but they don't like the smell of fat. And so many people, I mean, look what happens. If you or I go out for dinner, we can go to a restaurant, we can go to a market and buy food, we can go to our refrigerator, but a poor dog that smells as fat and doesn't want to eat the food has no choice. It either eats or it dies. And it's really sad.
So what's the name of the product again, if you can repeat it? Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's called, name of our rescue, Gentle Giants, and it's for all dogs. We have dogs as small as 2 pounds, meaning 1/3 the size of a Chihuahua, up to giant dogs that are up to 300 pounds. We have puppies that start at 3.5 weeks on this food, and the same food that we feed to a 3.5-week-old puppy, we feed to a 25, 26, 27-year-old senior. They all get the same super high nutrition food.
So if somebody has a Great Dane or a large dog like that, what would their life expectancy be on your diet?
Okay, well, just so you know, with Great Danes, we started as Great Dane Rescue. We've rescued 8,200 Great Danes in 23 years. And our Great Danes are living to about 21, 22. Their normal lifespan is only 7 to 9 years. Right now, we have a Russian Wolfhound, traditional lifespan 7 to 9 years. And any of your listeners can go on YouTube, and if they just type in the search bar on YouTube, Inside Edition, Burt Ward, and of course Inside Edition is a television show, they can watch a video that Inside Edition came out to our house last year, and our Russian Wolfhound, again, should only live 7 to 8 years. She's 25 years old in the video. And now it's a year later, she's 26 and a half. And she still jumps in the air. You can't do that with regular dog food.
And how long has she been eating your dog food?
Since she's 12 years old.
12 years old. She lived a long life anyway at 12.
14. Yes, she did. She did. But we've added another 14 years.
One more time. It sounds incredible. One more time. Your website, your dog food. Can you please let the audience?
Yes, we have different websites. GentleGiantsRescue.com is our rescue site. Has a lot of information. GentleGiantsDogFood.com. And our Facebook page, which is really interactive. It's really terrific. People can write to us on Facebook, and within 24 hours, they get a response from us. Any issue involving their dog, their health, their care, their medical issues, their behavior, we help people for free. And it's called Gentle Giants Dog Food and Products. It's on Facebook, and it's very interactive. Okay, well, Burt Ward from Batman and Robin, namely Robin, thank you for sharing your time with us on Connor's Corner. Good luck on what you're doing for, the dogs that so many of us love. Well, thank you, citizen. To the Batmobile! Good luck.